Hey, good morning, everybody. Here once again on Memorial Day weekend. I was actually going to entitle this video Bird Strike, but I don't think a lot of people in the motorcycle world would understand. So this is all about, I want to talk about safety. I want to talk about reactions to unplanned things. I think your fingers are right by the lenses. I got Jose Cuervo as a cameraman. Not his first rodeo, but so yesterday, as we were driving, it got hot. Now this is a great jacket. I'll talk more about the jacket later. But you know, one of the options is when it gets warm, you know, you unzip it. So I was riding like this and the air billows through, it vents out through the back, no problem, no overheating. It was a perfect way to have my jacket open. Here's where the problem occurred. As we're driving, there was all these signs and it had like cow crossings, look for cows. So I'm waiting for a cow. Jose is in front of me, Jose Cuervo was in front of me. A bird flies almost in front of him, misses him, comes and impacts my windshield here, right? You see how it struck this so hard, it cracked it along this line. When I saw it, it happened so fast. The next thing that happened, it bounced off, this broke its speed, goes inside my jacket and starts freaking out. Now I'm gonna tell you, although it was a bird, it felt like I was at the batting cages and I just got hit in the chest. I wouldn't say the force of it was enough to actually knock me off the bike, but here's where the riders have to understand. It may not knock you off the bike, but it'll hit you so hard that it may make your hands want to come off the controls right away. Well, here's the bad part. It was still alive. It was still alive and it was flapping around like right underneath my armpit. So I'm moving around. I take my hands off the controls to come to a coast. Nobody behind me understands why I'm slowing down. Joe doesn't realize I got hit. He keeps going. I pull over, and when I pull over, I jump off the bike falls on the ground, and I'm digging this bird out. I pull this bird out, and I swear to God, I look like a magician. I pull the bird out, and people are looking at me, they're like, they probably thought I was traveling with it. I pull it out, it tries to flies right out of my hand, drops dead right in front of me. That's the story I wish you guys would believe. None of that happened. Now here's the thing. Most embarrassing thing, I don't know how many times I've been told. I'll tell you how this broke. I don't know how many times I've been told, mount from kickstand side. Mount your bike from kickstand side. Joe and I pulled over at the Ural dealership. We did the video of it. Upon leaving, I went to go mount the bike. I parked too close to Joe. Did something happen?
Low battery warning.
Oh, is it still rolling? Okay. So anyways, technical difficulties, folks. So what I ended up doing, I ended up mounting from the opposite, from the right side of the bike. When I did that, I forced it over. The bike fell, this cracked. We're gonna do some medical work on that. I'm gonna get that working. I'll get that fixed up as best I could with super glue and some duct tape. But you know, something that happened is when it fell, ended up hitting Joe's GS and Joe went down. My buddy Greg uses a term called picking up dust. And picking up dust means, in your experiences, good and bad things are gonna happen. One bad thing that happened on this trip, I lost one of my favorite Kawasaki hats. It was a tan hat, said Kawasaki engines on it. You might have seen me wearing it in pictures. Didn't strap it down, I lost it. In turn for that, when I was at the Ural dealership, getting in a conversation with the guy, he sells these hats. I pointed the hat out. I go, how much are these? He takes it off the rack, signs it to me, Adventure Vin, enjoy the ride, Mark. This is the owner of it. So he actually gives it to me. So, you know, I can get wrapped up into losing the Kawasaki hat, or I can get wrapped up to a gracious guy giving me a cap. I could get wrapped up on dropping the bike, but I'll tell you, if Joe wasn't with me, I was not getting this bike up by myself. So I can get wrapped up on that, or being thankful that I was riding with Joe, that he was helping me pick up the bike. If I were to do it on my own, I would have to take all the gear off. One thing that I try to be very cautious, and maybe this is why I like riding alone more often than not, is that I don't like impacting other riders. And that's one thing I felt. Now, Joe took it in grace and in stride. He said, you know, it's not a brand new bike. I scratched up his pannier, and he goes, don't worry about it. He was so, I mean, he's got a lot nicer bike than me, and it goes down on the ground, not because of what he did wrong or right, is because I was neglectful on mounting my own bike. That's probably the worst thing of this whole scenario. I still got the other KLR at home. I could replace this brand new when I get home. I got another one at home. But the idea of impacting another rider is something that bears heavy on me. But thank goodness Joe took it in stride. Number one. Number two, he was the one that helped me get my bike upright. If he wasn't around, it would have been a nightmare. So with that, I'll conclude and just say thank you for listening to my entertaining story at first. It's just you know, picking up dust. Don't get wrapped up into the bad things and the negative things. They will happen, but rejoice in the things that come from it. Losing a hat, getting a hat, dropping a bike, having a good friend to help me pick up the bike, and moving on, moving forward. And that's what I've learned with it, is that when you're riding motorcycles, when you're out there trying to live your life, bad things will happen. Leave that behind. Leave that dust behind. Just focus on the good things in life, and that's what makes this ride so valuable and so important. Like, subscribe, get out there and ride. Whatever your passion is, do it now, because don't wait for tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.